The Booker Doncic stuff, I think Doncic is a lock at first team. And if you put Booker on first team, that's where I'm assuming the other problem spot would be is are people going to prefer Steph? Are they going to prefer Ja? Are they going to prefer even a Trae Young or are they classifying
Chris Paul maybe?
A Chris Paul? So my case for Booker is thus. I did see the Suns tweeted out that everyone who's averaged 25, 5, and 5 for the best team in the league has won MVP historically. The rebound stuff that's irrelevant to me. And this season is just such an anomaly when you look at what Jokic, Giannis, and Embiid are doing anyway. I will say there has long been the debate of who's more important to the Suns, Booker or CP3. When I was doing MVP ladders before Chris Paul's injury, I had him in the top 5 and I had Devin Booker outside the top 5 of the rankings. I think that playing time absolutely matters, and Booker is going to log more minutes by a pretty substantial margin when you look at how much time Steph is going to miss, then Curry, then CP3, then John Morant. That makes it easier. I also think that, maybe Chris Paul gives Phoenix's offense its shape and structure, but that's by both design and necessity, where I feel like he has to domineer the offense. And the fact that Booker can scale his game when you look at the way he moves off the ball or just the general essence of him playing off, a primary ball handler or a ball dominant point guard, there's value in that. And the fact that he can toggle between that and then the role of, hey, I'm going to captain these units without him. The Suns are a plus 7.5 points per 100 possessions when he's playing without Chris Paul this season. 7.7,
right?
Excuse me. Yeah, that's really good. That's about what the Bucks are outscoring opponents overall with Giannis on the court. Again, you can't scale those things perfectly, but that matters. He is also, when you're comparing him to CP3, logged like 500 possessions more as the solo star. I also think we tend to underrate, but we don't need to overcomplicate this. He is averaging about 26 points and 5 assists per game, shooting better than 50% on twos and almost 38% from 3 for the best team in the league. Like, we don't need to overcomplicate that. I still feel like we don't appreciate his passing enough. And I keep coming back to this stat because he has routinely registered among the most effective passers. Among the 500 plus players who have logged at least 50 minutes this season, Booker ranks 3rd and 1st among all non-point guards in assist to pass percentage adjusted. And that is simply the percentage of passes by a player that turn into assists, free throw assists, or secondary assists. So he is 3rd in that category and 1st among all point guards. And he is 1st in this category, bar none, since he exited health and safety protocols last month. That, not surprisingly, coincided with Chris Paul still being absent with that thumb injury. Devin Booker absolutely deserves to be in this discussion. If you're going to have someone else here, I think there's a case for it to be Steph, for it to be Ja. But when you also factor in that he's played more, the Suns' success with him alongside CP3 and without CP3, if I'm going to have him on my MVP ballot in the top 5, that's why I felt comfortable putting him in the top 5 of MVP. And that's why I'm going to feel comfortable putting him first team all NBA. Now it gets weird. I don't know what the positional designations are going to be. If LeBron or Kevin Durant for some reason is eligible at guard, fine. Devin Booker having just the minutes bump here, I'm going to drive that baby home. Like, I think that availability still matters in this discussion. I'm more inclined to throw it out the window in all NBA than I am for the MVP. But Devin Booker's been so good in I don't want to call it a hybrid role, but a hybrid role. And I'm not going to, there's no shame in the fact that I think he's bolstered his case during the time that CP3 was out. I don't think there's a shame in saying he did that.
No, I'm right there with you. And I do think as Booker has continued to expand his game, I feel like he's become the model for what every team is looking for when it inevitably experiments with having a 2-guard play the 1. Because we saw it early in his career where, they're going to try to squeeze him into lineups as the de facto point guard, live with the mistakes, see what he can do, see how he develops. And this is what you hope for. And oftentimes that experiment goes sideways. It's not continued. The skills aren't developed. It creates bad habits. This is what every team hopes for when it does that, because he is so seamlessly able to fill both a primary scorer and a primary distribution role. And I keep coming back to the idea, like, the numbers are all phenomenal. Just every one of them looks great for him. He's typically not a player who's adored by advanced stats because he takes on such a hard offensive scoring role that his efficiency numbers are a little bit lower. He's depressed in some of the catch-all metrics. That's changed this year. And yet, to me, it's still more impressive the ease with which he's operated. it never looks like he's breaking a sweat. It's just his game has been so aesthetically pleasing this year that it's just fantastic to watch.